So if you're planning to visit or move to Atlanta, here is a quick snapshot of the neighborhoods in this great city. And of course, one of the biggest and most famous is Buckhead. Now, this is the crown jewel of Atlanta. I mean, if that crown was dipped in Botox and coated in fake tan, it's where every Porsche-driving finance bro pretends his trust fund doesn't exist and where yoga pants are basically formal wear. Want to see a Range Rover parked across 2 spaces at Whole Foods? Buckhead's got you. Next is Midtown. Now, the neighborhood that can't decide if it's a business hub or a party zone. Midtown has more cranes than an origami convention, but good luck finding parking that doesn't require taking out a second mortgage. It's also where every rooftop bar promises the best views of the city. Spoiler, it's the same skyline you saw at the last 5 rooftop bars. Next is Old Fourth Ward, gentrification's favorite playground. What used to be a historic neighborhood is now a battleground between hipsters with ironic mustaches and old residents muttering, "We liked it better before the avocado toast invasion." The Beltline? More like the wait line if you're trying to grab a drink at Ponce City Market on a Friday. How about Virginia Highland? This is where people move when they're too old for Buckhead's club scene, but not ready to surrender to the suburbs. It's all cute bungalows and overpriced boutiques where every dad with a craft beer belly insists he, quote, totally used to be in a band. Next is East Atlanta Village, where every tattoo has a backstory and every bar has a sticky floor. This is the land of dive bars and quirky residents who insist their kombucha home brewing setup is totally hygienic. It's like Portland's weird cousin who spent too much time in the sun. Next is Inman Park. Oh, yeah. The place where Atlanta's bougie meets its brunchiest. It's a charming neighborhood, sure. But those Victorians aren't the only things dripping with pretension. Don't let the historic architecture fool you. These people will cut you for the last $15 artisanal scone. Now, the West End is like that cool friend from college who got super into yoga and veganism, but you're not sure how they can afford their rent. It's got charm and history, but also about 14 million luxury lofts coming soon. Because what every historic neighborhood needs is more froyo shops. How about Castleberry Hill? Well, the artsy sibling who went to film school and won't shut up about it is this place. Sure, it's full of galleries and lofts, but also where you'll pay $18 for a cocktail served in a mason jar with a garnish of regret for thinking you could afford to live there. Next is Grant Park. Wow, Grant Park, where parents push strollers so expensive, they probably have Bluetooth. Everyone here claims to love nature, but the closest they get to wildlife is their neighbor's off-leash doodle at the park. And if you didn't Instagram your Zoo Atlanta visit, were you even there? And finally, downtown Atlanta. The city's awkward middle child. It's full of promise, but feels like it's always in transition. Tourists show up expecting Peachtree Street to look like Times Square and leave asking, why are there 15 streets named Peachtree? Locals, they only show up for jury duty. There you have it, a snapshot of the neighborhoods in Atlanta where every neighborhood thinks it's the main character.